Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the history of the Bhagavad Gita. But hold on, this isn't the kind of history you read in a typical book. We're going straight to the source, where Lord Krishna himself tells us that this wisdom isn't just a few thousand years old, it's millions. Yeah, you heard that right. So let's get ready to uncover this absolutely incredible, eternal lineage.
So let me ask you a question. How old do you think the Gita's wisdom really is? Most of us would probably guess, a few thousand years, right? Well, get ready for this. According to the Gita itself, we need to tack on a whole lot of zeros to that number. We're talking about a timeline that will completely blow your mind and reshape how you think about time.
All right, let's jump right in. We're starting with a truly mind-blowing claim from Lord Krishna. He basically says, hey Arjuna, this conversation we're having right here, right now, this isn't the first time I've given this knowledge. Turns out it has a long history, an ancient lineage, an unbroken chain of wisdom passed down through the ages.
And to really get a handle on this, we've got to go straight to the source. Let's listen to what Lord Krishna himself says. This is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Imam Vivasvati Yogam Proktavanahamavayam, Vivasvan Manave Praha, Manur Ikshwakave Bravith.
So, what does that mean? Well, this verse lays out the entire path this knowledge traveled. Krishna says, I first taught this eternal science to Vivaswan, the sun god. Then, Vivaswan taught it to Manu, who's known as the father of mankind. And Manu passed it down to his son, King Ikshwaku. Now, this is a really important detail because it shows this wisdom wasn't some hidden secret. No, it was given to the royal order, to the leaders, so they could use it to guide and protect everyone from the struggles of material life.
And this is where the timeline just gets absolutely epic. Let's put this in perspective. The Gita was first spoken by Lord Krishna to the sun god over 120 million years ago. It then came to human society through King Ikshvaku more than 2 million years ago. And the version we're all familiar with, the one spoken to Arjuna, that's the most recent one, from about 5,000 years ago. This isn't just ancient history, folks. We're talking about a history that is literally out of this world, with a superhuman origin.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the next big question. You might be thinking, wait a minute, if this knowledge is so ancient and was passed down through all these great kings, why did Krishna have to say it all over again to Arjuna? It's a great question. What happened to that original perfect chain of wisdom? Well, wouldn't you know it, Krishna gives us the answer in the very next verse. Here's chapter 4, verse 2. Evam parampara praptam, imam rajarshayo vidu, sakalena, iha mahata, yogo, nashta, parantapa.
So what Krishna is explaining here is that this supreme science was originally passed down through what's called the parampara system, this chain of disciplic succession. The saintly kings, they all understood it this way, but, and this is the key part, over a vast period of time, the chain broke. The connection got lost. And because of that, the science as it is, in its pure form, seemed to have vanished from the world.
And that is exactly why Krishna had to speak it all over again. He lays it all out for Arjuna in chapter 4, verse 3. Saevaya maya teaja yoga prakta paratana, bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hi etad uttamam. Now, listen to how personal this gets. Krishna says, that very same ancient science, I'm telling it to you today, Arjuna. So why Arjuna? Of all people, why him? Krishna tells him straight up, because you are my devotee and you are my friend. And this right here is the secret sauce, It tells us the most important qualification needed to grasp this deep, transcendental mystery. It's not about how smart you are or how strong you are. It's about the relationship. It's about having a heart full of devotion and friendship.
All right, this next part is a real turning point in the conversation. Arjuna, who's really asking the questions we'd all ask, hears this incredible claim. Krishna teaching the sun god millions of years ago, and he just has to ask a very logical, very human question.
And here is Arjuna's question coming from chapter 4, verse 4. Arjuna Uvacha, Aparam bhavato janma, param janma vivasvataha, katam etad vijaniyam tvam ado proktavanati. So Arjuna basically points out what seems like a huge contradiction. He's like, Krishna, wait a second. You were born in my lifetime. The sun god Vivaswan, he's ancient, senior to you by birth. So how am I supposed to understand that you taught him in the very beginning? Now, it's really important to get this. Arjuna isn't doubting Krishna. He's not being a skeptic. He's asking this question for all of us, for everyone who would ever read the Gita, to give Krishna the perfect opportunity to explain his divine nature. And Krishna's answer? Wow. It's really the climax of this whole exchange. What he says next reveals the fundamental, core difference between the Supreme Lord and every single one of us. It's a revelation about memory, about time, and really about the nature of existence itself.
The Lord then reveals this profound truth in his reply. This is chapter 4, verse 5. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna, tani aham veda sarvani natvam vetta paranta pa.
What an absolutely incredible statement. The Lord says, Arjuna, both you and I have passed through many, many births. The difference is, I remember every single one of them. But you cannot. And this really breaks it down perfectly. Lord Krishna, being supreme, remembers everything because he is aksyuta, which means infallible. He never forgets himself because his body and his self are one and the same. They're eternal. He doesn't change. But us, the living beings, like Arjuna, well, our soul is eternal, but it's different from our temporary material body. And every time we have to change that body, we forget everything that came before. That, right there, is the crucial difference between the divine and the mortal.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's the incredible importance of getting this timeless wisdom through an authentic lineage, through the parampara system, which traces all the way back to the divine source. The Gita isn't just some philosophy thought up by a human being. It's divine knowledge preserved and passed down for our benefit. And if this has sparked your interest and you want to dive deeper into this and other amazing spiritual texts, well, I know a fantastic place for you to continue your journey.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to tell you about a channel called Kosh. It's an amazing multilingual platform where they share spiritual wisdom in English, Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, Gujarati, and Bengali. And they're adding even more languages soon.
You know, their whole mission is to bring the timeless treasures of Sanatana Dharma to you in a way that's simple, clear, and really meaningful. On their channel, you'll find daily videos on incredible texts like the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, epics like the Mahabharata, beautiful stotrams like the Lalita Sahasranamam, the wisdom of great sages in Devatin Choral, and stories of the saints of Maharashtra and Bengal, plus the divine story of Adi Sankara. It's an absolute treasure trove of knowledge. So, if what we've talked about today resonates with you, I really encourage you to go and subscribe to Gyan Kosh. That way, you'll get notified about their daily videos. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and help spread this divine knowledge with your family, your friends, and your whole community. Let's all work together to keep the beautiful light of Sanatana Dharma shining bright for everyone.